Facebook Live from the guys at iMove. This will be a bit less interactive today because I'm going to be on said mat behind me, so I won't be able to see comments or viewers as such. So just a big generic shout out. If you do have any questions about anything that I'm going to be doing, just pop them in the comment section and I'll definitely answer afterwards. So what I'm going to go through today is just a bit of a set of stretches that are just a nice combination of twisting, bending and extending for the lower back and hip and glute region that I think are particularly nice, and I often give to people who are tight or feeling a bit stiff or jammed in their back or hips from a big day of sitting. So if you want to join in at home, that's kind of the purpose of this. I figured it would be nice to be kind of guided through a bit of a stretching routine of an evening after having had a day of work or driving or whatever you've been up to for the day. Also just nice to move in general, so that's the other option as well. So grab a patch of floor. I'm going to pop back on my mat here. Yeah, any comments, just pop them in. I won't be able to see them for the moment, but pop them in, I'll answer them later. So the first one we're going to do is a hip flexor stretch. So kneeling position is best, I find. Pop your left leg forward. From this position here, we want to tuck our tailbone underneath, so you're scooting your bottom under, and then you're going to reach up and over with your right hand, so you're opening up everything down through that right side. So with all our stretches, holding them for about 45 seconds to a minute. You want to give your body a nice amount of time to adjust to the stretch and let your body know what's going on and that you want to stretch out. So we're holding these stretches all for about 45 seconds I'll do for the sake of demonstration. So I really like the hip flexor stretch because it opens up all through the front of our body, which as we're sitting gets tighter and gets in a shortened position. So opening up through the hips. This is a really nice stretch if you've got lower back troubles as well. So it can be really nice just to free up that lower back, particularly if you're having issues arching backwards. So holding this one for about 45 seconds. And then we'll swap over and do the other side. So reaching forward with the right foot. Same story again, tucking that tailbone underneath, and you should be feeling something through that front of your body, that open side of your body. So up and over, really just opening up through your ribs, through your chest, and you should feel something down through that hip area. So you're holding that one. You might feel tighter on one side than the other. Take note if you do. If that's a side that you have more niggles on, or if it's a side of your back that you feel a bit tighter on, you might just want to do that stretch on that side again if you feel a bit tighter or you feel as though you haven't quite held it for long enough. So same thing, really nice for your lower back. Make sure you keep that tailbone tucked under, the most important part of this exercise. And I give the hip flexor stretch a lot for people who are sitters or people if they come with an acute lower back complaints. So your hip flexor stretch is number one. Number two, I'm going to come into a kneeling twist here. So I really like this one just because you've got to use your core to balance a little bit, but we're also twisting and opening up. Actually, I'll do this side first because I'll face towards you. So my right foot forward and my left knee is down. What I'm going to do here is just twist to the side of my body that my leg's up on. So twisting to the side and really just trying to get as far as is comfortable. Use your hand to pull against your knee. Got to use your muscles to control a little bit here. So opening up through here, getting a really nice twist through your lower back. I'm getting a bit of a twist up through in my thoracic spine, so really nice there as well. If you want to, you can lean in a little bit, so you'll get a little bit of a quad stretch there as well. I like this one for sitting because you're opening up, doing a bit of twisting, which we don't do a lot in our lives. We're all very in front of us. So twisting is really lovely, opening up through the chest and shoulders as well. So make sure you're staying open through your upper body. Don't let yourself crunch down and go forwards, or don't be on your phone because you're defeating the purpose. So up really nice and tall and twisting, 45 seconds. Same thing, other side. So I'm going to be facing away from you. So you're keeping nice and square, twisting around, opening up through that side. Use your arm to pull. Same thing, keep open through the chest, broad through the chest, grow tall through the crown of your head. So think about a string making you taller through the top of your head. Same story, holding this for 45 seconds. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm demonstrating really well. So holding that one, 45 seconds worth. Same thing, you might notice that you're a bit tighter on one side here and you don't twist as far. I don't go as far to the left, so I'm feeling a bit stuck on my left side here. Creep that foot forward if you want to get more of a stretch through the front again. Still twisting. Alright, 45 seconds, roughly. Alright, so we're going to come into a variation of child's pose here now. So yes, child's pose is bending forward like we do when we sit, but I like these variations just because you get a bit of a stretch up one side of your body. So hopefully you can see pretty well here. I might change my ankle so you can see a bit better. So child's pose, split your knees for this one, it's just a bit more comfortable. Creep those hands forward, but I actually want you to go to the side. So just go as far as you are comfortable. And what you should feel here is a really nice stretch down through that side, through the shoulder, but also maybe down into the lower back a little bit as well. Really try and sink in. You can twist with this one as well. So twist, take your shoulder down, take your shoulder up, and you're down there on the ground. Make sure you breathe with this one as well. Don't hold that breath, really expand the lungs, and then sink the lungs back in. It'll really help you just get a little bit more mobility through that side. Keep your bum down. You can pick your bum up a little bit, so lifting your bottom up can just help you get a little bit more traction through that shoulder. Alright, so we're still holding there. Creep those hands back to the middle. If you need to have a rest and come up, please do so. Or you can just take those hands straight around and go around to the left side. Same story here. Twist through your shoulder to lift or lower. You can change that line of pull. So if I lift up, the stretch goes further down into my stomach. Lift up your bottom. You can just change where that pull is. Try and keep your shoulders and your neck relaxed as much as you can here. Keep breathing as well. And when you've done your 45 seconds, you can creep those hands back to the middle and come up tall. What are we up to? 4 is a lumbar twist. I think I went over this one last week, but I really love it. It's a really nice one for sitting. Again, it's a bit of rotation through your lower back, bit of a glute stretch as well. So we're just lying flat on our back, straighten your right leg out. Left leg is bent up. Make sure your head and shoulders are relaxed. If you need a pillow to be comfortable, please get one. Left leg comes across your body, and you're just going as far as comfortable. Some people will just sit here and they'll feel a stretch. Totally fine, don't push it. Stretches aren't meant to hurt, and everyone's got a totally different range. If you can get a little bit further, keeping that shoulder on the ground, so my left shoulder is staying on the ground. Try and keep your eyes facing straight ahead as well. So getting that nice stretch there. Should be getting a bit of a stretch through your glute and through that lower back as well. If it's catching a little bit in your groin or your hip, just don't put as much pressure on that leg, and sometimes it's nice if you just kind of let your foot pop out to the side as well. So that's our lumbar twist. And then same thing on the other side. So now we go right leg up, left leg is straight, right shoulder stays flat on the ground. You can put your arm there as a bit of an anchor. Same story, rocking over, and you should be getting a bit of a stretch through here. So I actually feel a bit tighter on this side. My right glute's feeling a little bit tighter. So this is our lumbar twist. Always nice because you're lying down as well. So this is a good one. So lumbar twist. As always, keep breathing so you're not holding your breath. Breath's really important. Tells your body to calm down, lets your ribs move and expand. Good to get your diaphragm moving. So always breathe through your stretches. Alright, so 45 seconds. And then lucky last is the glute stretch. Again, lying down, so it's a really nice finisher. Left leg, cross it across right leg. If you can get here, awesome. Then you can pull that leg forward. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, if you're struggling, you can just pop that leg up and pull that knee towards yourself if you haven't quite got the ability to pull that leg. So you can just pull that knee, or you can just pull through that leg. So anything where you're kind of getting this leg a bit closer to you, and you should be feeling it through your glute. I'll point out to you where you want to feel it when we do the other side. So glute stretch variation, you're either pulling that leg, you can just apply a little bit of pressure through that knee, or you can lift at the foot to help you, or you can pull that knee forward. And then we'll do the same thing on the side. Left leg's down, right leg is up. So pulling that leg towards you is option number 1, and you'll feel it through your glute a little bit there, Option number 2 is just pulling your knee or just lifting that foot and just getting that little bit of a stretch. And then you can also just bring that leg towards you. So you should be feeling it through your glute, through there. Keep breathing with this one as well. And that's our glute stretch. So glute stretch is really good because if you're sitting on your bottom all day, it's not doing much except holding you up. So releasing those glutes and getting a little bit of hip mobility is really nice, and that's why I like the glute stretch. Really nice for a tight lower back as well. Again, I often give a glute stretch as part of an acute lower back. So if your back's feeling particularly tight, this is always a really nice one. All right. So if you've got any questions or any suggestions on any stretches that you'd like to see, or anything in particular that you'd like to, like my ball, anything in particular that you'd like a bit of advice on, let me know and I can cover it in future lives. But yeah, any questions, pop them in the comments. I'll get back to you. Yeah, go back and use this, save it, and you can do it as something that you take home after a big day at work. It's always nice to have someone telling you what to do rather than having to think about it yourself. That's what all my Pilates clients say. So enjoy. Any questions, please let me know. And yeah, happy moving. Thank you.